So as I'm carving this little treehouse replica for my other channel, Beginning Wood Carvers in Art and Crafts or something, I was thinking this is a piece of driftwood. It is cottonwood. Sometimes, here we go. Sometimes when I'm searching for driftwood, the wood doesn't have any bark on it, so it's hard to identify the wood when it doesn't have any bark on it. So you need to chip away at the wood to see what type of wood it is so you can identify the wood. Well, it's kind of funny. This is kind of a funny story. Chris, my buddy in the UK, the birdhouse carver, he sent me an email saying that this is that it had the red shiny bark on it. It's kind of a funny story here. Um, when I got this piece, I had that little chainsaw, and then I see that piece of wood there with the red bark. And my buddy Chris from the UK sent me an email saying he think it might be red bark birch. But so what I did is I went back there the next day and I said, well, I need to find out what kind of wood it is. And I did some research and I said to myself, well, I think it actually from the bark, and I identified it by the bark, that it might be Tibetan cherry wood. So I went back there, and before I even grabbed the piece, I got the sawdust from where I cut before. I says, oh, look, this is not birch wood. I can tell by the sawdust. Okay. Long story short is somebody made a comment on the video. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but he's like, that's not how you identify the wood by the sawdust. Because as you say in some of your other videos, cedar comes in all different colors. So you don't identify the wood by the sawdust. Well, actually, my friend, you can smell the sawdust. I did smell the cherry wood in the sawdust. It smells like fruit. It smells different than birch, okay? So yes, you can identify the wood by the sawdust. And also, you need to chip away the wood. Not all wood has bark. Yes, this piece had bark, and here is a piece of it. It had bark, but you have to cut the wood to see what it is, because sometimes you cannot identify it by the bark because there's so many different barks that look the same for so many different trees. Long story short, I had this piece inside my truck. I pulled it out quickly, and I carved a pen holder in it. Yep, that's all. I've known in my life sometimes it's better for me to keep my comments to myself.